so true. I will be sure that the lady's just like you. Yeah, she couldn't hang.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get it to 2016. It's the end of 2016. Welcome to the Weird Couch.
What?
We are still here
On actual couches.
on actual couches. This is for all you fans out there. I'm EQ. This is Kris
Hold
and
on.
Joe.
I think that's a love seat, y'all. I'm on the couch.
Brotherly love. You feel left out.
Outsider.
You feel left out. I know you do.
No, I got all space
I know
over
you
here.
feel left out.
I got the couch. Y'all on the love seat.
Yeah. Joe's
This
all
is the
alone.
weird love seat, y'all. Welcome to the weird love seat. I mean, are we actually living in the present, or is everything that we're saying now actually the past?
I think technically it's the past.
Yes.
Getting super philosophical on this shit.
Yes.
But then time's not linear, so it could be the past, the present, and
Hold
the
on.
future
You
all at
said
the same time.
isn't linear.
Yeah, time's not linear.
Are you
man.
sure?
I'm positive. At least that's my belief. I
That is your
believe in that.
belief.
But my
It
glasses
probably-
weren't there.
Oh, so you guys missed it. It's just looking back in the past. EQ failed.
Throwback to like an hour ago.
Completely bust his ass. I missed it.
He destroyed
But
my
there are
chair.
pictures, and they're amazing. Check them out on Instagram.
It'll be in the vlog. I'll post it in the link below. Sorry.
Link.
Yeah. So linear time 2016, non-linear time 2016, 15, 14, 3033.
Anyways,
But if time was non-linear, wouldn't it be like 2016A, 2016B, right? You'd be able to move like unilaterally.
you should. Okay, so
Oh
okay.
Lord.
We're going off topic here, like we
We
normally
showed
do
it.
on the couch.
Like we just discussed that we weren't going to
I'm sorry. That's my
In
fault.
our frame of reference,
It's always my fault.
in our frame of reference, it is. You always start stuff, and then he always continues off on the tangent, and then I follow, and it's like, wait, no, let's reel it back in a little bit. Let's reel it back in.
Okay.
Okay, so non-linear, right? So, in our frame of reference, how we experience time is a linear experience, right? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, but on the bigger scale,
What's
like
the four?
in space, it's just an arbitrary number count.
Okay.
If you like go into space, right? We know that time is experienced differently for astronauts and objects in space than it is for us here because of point of reference, right? So you take a clock.
It's not just point of reference. It has to do with gravity too.
Well, there's gravity, the electromagnetic field. There's a whole bunch of other things that play into how we experience time.
Yeah, because the North Pole experiences time different than anybody at the equator. There's a time difference.
Yeah, there's a time difference.
By
And
like
just for
microseconds,
those of you
but yeah.
who don't know this, the time zones is not a naturally occurring thing.
No, it's
it
not.
was created by man.
Okay, so
Yes.
so what I want to know is why is it when you're a child, 10 minutes feels like an eternity, but as an adult, 10 minutes isn't even enough time to poop.
Yes. Okay, so I have theories on this, and I think we're gonna just roll through with this conversation because it sounds like a pretty cool conversation. I think as a kid, because again, it comes to point of reference to how you're experiencing time, right? And this conversation that I had with that lady Sarah on the plane, okay, and this can be a little slightly in depth.
Hi,
I'm trying not
Sarah.
to go too far. Hi, Sarah. Is imagine, right? Have you ever heard of the red thread of fate? The Chinese belief that all things are connected. I mean, there's other beliefs that they call it the red
Talking
thread
about,
of fate.
Chi and everything.
Chi and things like
Life
that.
energy,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so there's other religions out there at the same time that believe that we are a part of the universe, not separate from the universe, right? So when we were having our conversation on the plane, something I had said had sparked a thought in her mind, just like sometimes when you guys, it sparks thought in mine, but I don't feel like it's my thought. It was just like, it was given to me for responsive purposes. And her thing was, what if there is the one, and we are all a part of the one, which would be the universe, because that is the largest thing we know of, is the universe. It's all encompassing, right? And so what happens is as a collective, we decide we want to experience different frames of reference. And in order to do that, we have to disconnect from the one and go experience the universe outside of ourselves and from different points of views. So a little part of the one, the universe, right, decides, you know what, I'm going to go down and experience life, and comes down and, the soul, becomes, a human, and, you're born, or an animal or a tree or whatever, anything out there. during that time frame, you're going to develop a individuality separate from the one, separate from the universe, right? And you forget where you came from. So think back to when you were a child, right?
This is deep
There's
stuff,
little
people.
experiences
Listen.
that you had that were very odd. Like for me, I remember, and I'm saying this on camera finally. I think I've said it on the Facebook Live maybe. Okay. A lot of people can't say they can remember their very first exact memory, right? They can say, "Oh, I do remember this one time," and then their parents are like, "Oh yeah," and then before that this happened. They're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that too." And it's always this constant like jump back to the first, and you can never tell what the first one is.
Usually, you don't go back and you don't start remembering stuff in your past to like age around 4 when your brain usually develops that ability.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you get
so
concrete, whatever.
Yeah, we're like goldfish until we're like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I remember the exact moment that I became conscious. What's the fucking word? Conscious of my existence.
You're
Okay.
like, I am fire.
Or to put it a different way, I remember the moment that I came into existence on a conscious level. Okay. So what happened was, and I'm gonna make this reference, and hopefully people still take me a little seriously when I say this. You guys see the movie Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it's going through that sequence of improbability where the whale appears and he's falling from the sky, and he's like, "Oh my God, what is this? Oh, what is that? What's rushing past my head?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call it air." And then like, "Oh, what is this thing that I'm experiencing? Oh, is that my heartbeat?" Like these things that are obvious to us because we know, but that moment of life where you're just like, you have no way to describe it to yourself, right? So the first thing I did was I heard. I was awake and I heard, but I could not see because I did not know I had eyes. I heard all these noises and it was scary as shit. I had no idea what was going on, and all I remember was coming from this blackness and like a falling feeling, right? Which can be contributed to a dream, because that's how it's stuff. But I just remember falling from a blackness, and then everything was very distant. I was distant from myself, like a camera being far away from the character, and then all of a sudden the camera's like wham, and then like up close, right? So then
this is him emerging through the vaginal canal, people.
No, but I wasn't a baby. Is the thing is okay. So I'm hearing these noises, right? And then I was scared and I felt paralyzed. But then all of a sudden, I felt this sensation right here, and I saw like lights, and so started blinking, and everything was super fucking bright, and I was like, I don't know what literally have no idea what existence means, right? But I see things walking past the door, and it's scaring the shit out of me.
I know exactly what this was. I got you. I can explain this. You ready? You ready?
I feel this is gonna be a sarcastic.
No, I'm telling you, I can. Okay, people, I can explain this.
I'm on
like this is some scientific shit right here.
Yeah.
First, you said you were eyes closed. You heard stuff, right?
Yeah, I heard stuff. Never heard anything before.
Never heard anything
before. The
very
first moment I heard something.
At the very first moment you heard something. During this moment, this is why this sticks out in your mind. This is why you can remember this.
I've been searching for this answer.
No, seriously, because it's like, okay, so there are times in our life that we remember because they stand out. It's like, boom, you remember this because it's such a crazy existential experience. It's like, oh,
like out of body experience.
Yeah, you remember,
like that,
you remember those experiences. Like in your life, you have these crazy experiences, and it's like they stick out. So this experience right here is EQ was sleeping in his mom's hands, and she dropped him. So he was asleep. His eyes were closed.
I knew it was coming.
What? I'm serious. His eyes were closed.
I woke up in my bed.
Okay, so
I woke up in my bed.
And she just happened to drop him in the bed.
Specific.
Go ahead. Carry on. It's the first time you ever dropped.
So real quick, before this gets out of hand. I have a feeling that part of that is, and like I said, this is purely a what if. Because I kind of felt like I have sort of a similar memory. Like my first, what I can call memories, were probably like hallucinations that were occurring from consciousness, like happening, right? You have all these neurons that are connecting
and firing, and
yeah, and especially when you're, growing as a young, child, fetus, whatever, you're having millions of connections upon millions of connections happening daily, right? So my earliest actual memory before I remember having the ability to remember was a big white room, and I was being swung in a circle by this mysterious figure in a dark suit. This is not a joke.
No, I know, but also I'm trying to think in my head is like, he's being sarcastic.
No, I'm not. No,
movie right
not at
now?
all. No, not at all. Not at all. No, this is. I'm sincere.
You know me.
I was in a big white room, and I was being swung in a circle, and I remember the sensation of being swung very, very fast in a big blank space of a room. You know, and it felt like falling.
Okay, so.
And then I remember after that, like I remember remembering, like I remember being
conscious.
But as a small child, like I don't remember like 1, 2, 3 years old. Like my earliest memories were really probably 3 or 4 years old. I think really my earliest memory that sticks out, I think, was having chicken pox.
Yeah,
being stuck on the couch and being like 3 or 4.
So this brings me to this brings me to an excellent thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
So babies, they dream. They dream while they're inside and they haven't even been born yet, right? What are they dreaming about?
Probably the shit that I'm talking about.
Yeah, honestly, this
probably
is
the shit that I'm talking about.
Thing. Like come full circle. I mean, we've all seen that movie Baby Geniuses, and the first one was pretty cool, but
I haven't
it was
seen
kind
it.
of a crap. Okay,
Amy's been trying to get me to watch it.
Looking at it, it's a dumb kids movie, but
we gotta get Amy to be a character on the show.
Concept in that movie that suggests that before the age of 2, right, babies are the most intelligent beings in existence, and then at 2 something happens and they lose that connection to the universal knowledge, so to speak, and then they become dumb bumbling idiots.
Well, it comes to
because
that
if
whole...
you think about this, you experience this all the time between the ages of 1 and 2. The baby's growth and development, right? Like they are I think it's 2. Like they have these looks on their face, like they totally understand what the fuck we're talking about, and we're not even talking to them. Like we talk about science, and you just see they're just encapsulated, right? And they're like listening. But then they hit 2, right? And then all of a sudden they're just like, wait a second, what? I found my foot. Let's put it in my mouth, or this turd on the freaking grass, right? All of a sudden they're not as engaged, so to speak, anymore as they were when they were, a baby between 1 and 2. I'm not saying that they actually are like that intelligent, but with the whole theory of like being part of the universe, right? And then deciding that you want to experience the universe outside as an individual, so like you're a soul, or you become a soul, and you come down and embody, you inhabit, a body, so you can experience life. For the first 2 years, you have this remembrance of the connection of the universe. Mm-hmm. And everything's like totally okay. And you just understand that nothing that is happening to you right now is actually that bad. But then at some point, you can't keep that connection because you have to experience life. So that connection gets severed. And now all of a sudden you start becoming afraid of everything. And you have to develop a personality. You have to develop the ability to get over your fears and all this other stuff. Because ignorance is bliss, but ignorance causes fear and causes hate. Right, and all this other shit. So, yeah, if you have all the knowledge in the universe, what the hell do you have to be afraid of?
Okay, so speaking of, going back to this whole thing of being a part of the one, right? So technically, all in all, scientifically, we're just stardust, right? So what if
I already like
the
where it's
stars?
Me too.
What?
I already like where it's going too.
What if the stars are the actual sentient beings?
No, see, and that's a great question / statement, because that's what I believe. Because I do, I'm developing.
And we're just parasites, literally.
No, not even parasites. If we're stardust as well, then we are just a part of those stars. They are sentient beings. There's sentience in them, and so therefore they live and die. We're made up the same stuff. We're made up of stardust as well.
Yeah.
And if signals exist inside stars, inside nebulas and galaxies and all that other stuff, and they don't necessarily have to come from an alien species kind of deal. Those signals could just exist because, let's say, a star goes supernova, right, or collapses in on itself and becomes a singularity, right, black hole.
Deep. Yeah, or pulsar.
2 black holes. You guys hear that sound clip, right? The 2 black holes colliding into each other. It was this ring. They recorded it for the first time in human history. 2 black holes had collided, and it was like this giant bell being rung or whatever. I'll try to get the sound clip and play it
What?
the video.
I don't recall this at all. I remember the 1970
awesome.
whatever wow signal, but I don't remember what you're talking about. But
wow signal, that would be a nice thing to talk about.
So I like that. That's interesting. What if?
Things that make you say,
Yeah, things that make you say, by that lady. I feel like possibly, if anything exists, it would be spirituality. Spirituality, like a person's spirit, is all encompassing and doesn't necessarily include an individual's personal likes or dislikes. A person's spirit, can be identified, from a mile away. You can identify a pleasant individual and an asshole without even conversation. A lot of it. Okay, so the one is basically the collective spirit. And to make this more identifiable for a viewer, it's kind of the same premise as someone performing on stage at a concert. I like to imagine it more like a comedian on stage performing for an audience. At the point that the audience becomes the audience, they're one large body of emotion, of spirit. And at that point, you can identify that mass of people as a singular entity. So you can identify a crowd as positive or negative or hostile. You're not saying, the man in seat 340AB was an asshole. He just kind of, his voice falls into the blanket of the other voices, and so cumulatively you can personify the crowd as a whole. And I feel like that's kind of the same thing, in life and in spirituality, and being part of that one, is that the best we get is that at the end of the day, when our physical vessels can no longer hold our spirit, we get to go back into the one. But what we take with us is the end result of the spirit we've created here within the vessel. So if I go through life being an absolute asshole, then I'll contribute to all things spiritually connected to assholism.
Exactly.
So because it has to exist. There's different. Like I said, you can identify the spirit of an asshole, someone that you're never going to get along with. They're probably incredibly cynical, not very intelligent. There's just unpleasant. Bully types. Like they carry that spirit with them, for better or worse. They're a part of that, and so when their physical vessels expire, then that energy is recycled back into the energy, the pool. Right, that then gets transferred to the next asshole.
Yeah.
So in that sense, reincarnation becomes a thing, but not in the literal sense that I, as Kris, am going to come back as a butterfly and go, holy shit, bro, I'm a butterfly.
Yeah.
It's the recycling of my energy, right? If I live the life of a delicate soul, and my spirit is such that I'm able to come back as something so delicate, then that's positive affirmation by the one, kind of a deal.
Okay, yeah. I got a question for you. Just, and then I know you got a comment to go off this, but I just got a question. Okay, so you're talking about the whole spirit of the one and your energy, right? It goes back into the one. Okay, so there's a collective ball of energy, the one, per se, right?
Or it's referred to as the collective consciousness.
Or the collective consciousness, right? Okay, so, and you're saying this one asshole energy goes back into the collective consciousness and they contribute assholeness, right? So energy, by all definitions, doesn't have like a singular makeup. Like, do I have like the energy in my little body right now goes back into the collective consciousness, and does that exact amount of energy get transferred back out, or is just a piece of that energy?
Well, think about that in a scientific thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you think about energy from, like you were saying, from a scientific standpoint, energy cannot be created or
Nor
destroyed.
destroyed, yeah.
It can only be transferred
As far as we
into
know.
other means of energy.
And if your energy is put back into the collective, then an equal amount of energy should be coming out of the collective.
Yeah, but it should be constantly in motion.
It is constantly in motion if you think about that.
And what I mean by, assholeism, is the embodiment of your emotional stock as an individual. That's an assessment.
So think about oh man.
So I like y'all to know that this started off as a 2016 look back, and now we're on some like.
No, that's okay. This is now a topic, and you guys at home get to witness how things pivot, and a conversation on the couch can come out of nowhere.
There are experiences that we've had as human beings, as individuals, that a lot of people don't understand, and so they haven't thought about it in a very long time. And I think it is our job as humans and as individuals to become self-aware, to be on that journey, and to become self-aware. And I think the top of that lesson is when you become self-aware. Like the last lesson to learn is that you are not an individual, that you are 100% a part of the collective, and that your individuality is actually not as important as you think it is.
I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer on that,
Disclaimer?
because I'm about to say, or a caveat or something, because this is in no way knocking anybody's religious views or anything.
No.
I mean, because and this is no by any means saying this is my religious view on the world, because it's not. It's just an open conversation about things that we don't understand as people, and there are so many things out there that we will never understand in this lifetime. So that's what I have to say about the whole thing. I mean, I believe there's something bigger, and I won't go into the whole religious or political view thing, because we can go forever about that, and everybody's different viewpoints, but it's just this conversation to make you think, things that drive you internally.
Yeah. Seek creativity. Creativity is a great vessel into understanding the concepts that we're kind of discussing. Trying to harness creative energy is a topic that we could do another 5 videos on. It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly enlightening, and it'll get you familiar with some of the concepts that we're discussing. Creatives, I think, in general. I'll tell you real quick before we stop. Alex Gray. I don't know if you're familiar with his work, but it's fucking amazing. He's currently the most significant visual artist alive today.
Is this by popular opinion or just?
This is by my opinion.
Okay.
I think in the art community, I think it's popular opinion. He just built a it was very expensive. It was crowdfunded. It was Kickstarted. But they just built a monument to creativity, and it's essentially a church. It's not a church. They're not claiming a religion. But it's a giant temple that's dedicated to creativity and art of all kinds. Is it called Pantheon?
We'll look it up.
Anyhow,
we'll look it up. On a non-green
but
screen.
the whole principle behind
I can still do the overlay.
the whole philosophy, behind doing this for him, and just his philosophy in general, is that while we're in that ebb and flow of emotional energy, that's the closest we get to God.
I thought orgasms were. Anyway,
no, you kind of
can't even go off on that tangent, right?
Suddenly, the guy in us.
So on that note, the creative energy. I'm sorry, this video keeps on going. But okay, so my thing is, when it comes to creativity and people thinking of the beauty. Me and my girl were in this conversation the other day. Shout out. So she we were talking about like the Mona Lisa. I was like, oh, she's so beautiful. The picture. What is it? Are you just jump on the bandwagon of saying that the Mona Lisa is this beautiful, extravagant, beautiful painting or whatever, or are you actually looking at the painting and be like, okay, I don't like that?
The Mona Lisa.
And then if you say that I don't like that, you're like, everybody's looking at you crazy. It's like, oh, you don't like that, but it's all personal opinion.
It's not a beautiful painting.
No.
But historically, it's significant because of who the painter was who the individual being painted was, the time period in which it was painted.
But that's the thing. Who was she really?
Well, that's a whole topic for another day.
I know. Okay, so anyway,
there's like religious and political implications of this story. But anyway, it's a great exhibition though of technique. So for somebody that's interested in music, they might not like country, but they may appreciate how well written that country song was.
Because they understand music composition.
I agree with that, but still, people would just jump on the bandwagon and it killed me.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, if they don't have any context.
Why do you like that? Oh, I like it because shut up, sit down,
famous painting.
Go like
right.
Dump your head in a bucket of water and inhale 9 times. 9, count them, please.
It's like an Ariana Grande because everybody else likes Ariana Grande. Like,
yeah, her voice is nasally. She can sing though, I give her that, but it's just I don't.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to Ariana Grande. Hey, if you're watching this, we love you.
Remember, my mom's been sending this shit to like all these celebrities.
I better watch who I fucking bring.
No, she's an excellent singer. She can blow, but
yeah.
it's just her tone, her nasal. Yeah,
vocally talks.
Yeah,
instead of singing it.
Pretty woman, but no.
So, anyways, I know that we didn't really get to a conclusion in this video, right? And so, for the people out there that have OCD, I'm sorry. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think, and maybe give us your conclusions to this particular conversation. And go have this conversation with somebody else. Let's start that spark, go figure it out and let us know. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button.
And if we're wrong, let us know we're wrong. Start a conversation with us. Let's extend the conversation to you.
Agreed.
This isn't about who can Google the fastest. It's about who can communicate.
Yes, and expand your horizons. We want to expand our views on this whole thing.
What's that term when you come up with something on your own and not that it's not influenced by the media or Wikipedia?
Objectivity.
Yeah, objectivity. Let's have an objective conversation.
Subjective
conversation.
No, subjective means that you have some kind of.
Someone let us know what objective and subjective means,
no,
please. I don't want to Google it.
Objective would mean, yeah. Anyway.
I mean, so objective is like without reservation or preconceived notion, right? Objective means you're looking at it.
It means like objective would be like hard facts.
Nah, it means removed from it, contextually.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time here on Fridays on the Couch.
We're going to